program. Let's talk about that for just a moment. I know when we're going to get all the steps laid out. People will see the site fully and functional within the next, by the end of this weekend, it'll all be fully functional. By Monday of next week, you'll be able to go forward. But what we want to do is on that Fire Your Landlord program, we want people to understand that part of what they're going to have to do first is there's some qualifications to it. So I know going through MWR Financial, making sure they get their take-home pay increase, making sure they start with tax reduction and they do their bill negotiations so they can get their bills down, so it helps them with their debt-to-income ratio. They can do all their debt elimination, but now they want to need to do that credit restoration, because that's going to be something that you're going to require of them before they actually enter the program. So why don't you just talk about what the requirements are to enter the Fire Your Landlord program, and so why you know and why you have that clear path to home ownership in 6 to 8 months.
Well, the first thing and the reason why we want everybody to take advantage of all the things that's required in that membership is we want people to stay in houses. Our goal isn't for you to just get into a house and 2 years later you're getting foreclosed. Then we're contributing to a problem. So we want people to go through stuff, because just because you want a house, that doesn't mean you deserve a house. So there are going to be some steps that we want you to go through, because it's like a gauntlet. I couldn't, my background, I played pro football at one point. I couldn't just step on a field and go pro. I had to go through high school, I had to go through college, I had to, do a lot before I could even have an opportunity to be able to go out on the field. So we want people, you're not going to have to wait as many years as I did, but you want to make sure that you're going through, making sure that you're going to utilize the membership of all what it does. And when you go through the credit restoration process and you come out, we're going to continue to work on your credit, because we're going to take care of it on a forensic side when we do the handoff from MWR to U.S. Housing Exchange. We're going to take over your file, and then we're going to be pre-qualifying you with our relationship with Cardinal Financial, which is what is the mortgage provider, and then they're going to pre-qualify you based upon your income. So your income is going to be looked at. We'll look at the credit report real fast. We'll be able to know exactly what we got to do to be able to establish the game plan. Then what we're going to do from there is we're going to give you to one of our certified realtors. So people out there, if you're a realtor listening, this is going to be about the most amazing opportunity that you ever had. And you don't got to be worried about inventory shortages or anything like that, because we're going to be uniquely positioned to not only look for properties that are from motivated sellers that are underpriced or anything like that, where we can put you in one of those properties, but we're also going to be bringing new construction into the mix. So we want, and once you can be able to go out shopping and then you find the property that works, then our MWR investors are going to buy. But the cool thing is if you're not an investor or capital contributors of the joint venture program, you got to be careful, because if I use the word investors, that's why we keep correcting ourselves. Then you got to be an accredited investor, and you got to have $250,000. We're $1 million net worth. You got to be making $250,000. So capital contributors, you're going to do it through an LLC, which we're going to provide for you. And then what that's going to do, that's going to be your LLC doing business with U.S. Housing Exchange or one of our affiliates, and MWR and one of their affiliates. So we're doing business only as companies as we're going through the process. Once we end up finding a property for you, we'll buy it, and then we will help you get you over the hump on the credit. But instead of you having to wait, like 99.9% of credit restoration companies, they're going to have you wait until your credit's strong enough, and then you get to a mortgage company that you didn't deal with from the beginning, and nobody's in communication. Everybody is in-house. From when MWR, I'm a member of MWR. U.S. Housing Exchange, I own U.S. Housing Exchange. Then Cardinal, I'm a loan officer with Cardinal that works with all the whole company within Cardinal, and then it goes into our close, and then we're working with other LLCs of owners of people from MWR. So it's a seamless operation that stays right within you. So you're never leaving. We all communicate. We're all going to know what's going on with you. Reason why we want to be able to come in with 50 deals and ramp up. We want to make sure that infrastructure is tight. There's going to be a lot of contractors that's going to be needed. We're going to be having to have quality control to make sure that we're delivering good products that we can be able to be satisfied with, and we're going to continue to grow. And what's the most exciting thing about what we're going to be doing is not only are we going to be firing our landlords, but what we're also going to be doing is we're going to be working with cities, and we're going to be fighting gentrification. You hear that? Fighting gentrification. Because what we're going to do is we're going to bring affordable housing, not affordable renters, to bring in Section 8. No offense on Section 8, but we're bringing home ownership. So where was the last time that you saw houses for $200,000, $250,000 on brand new construction? It doesn't happen because the greed level is that these guys are doing maybe, 15 to 100 houses or whatever the thing is. We plan on doing new construction and building MWR developments. MWR financial developments. Okay, so that is going to be something that is incredible on what we're going to be bringing to the market. So when we look, we're already talking to several mayors. We're already talking to several mayors about bringing their issues because they either got dilapidated properties where they got vacant lots, and we're going to be coming in and we're going to be bringing in members that can go in these lots and get new construction. So we're going to be growing exponentially just because of this. And now check this out. What's going to happen in the next, 6 to 8 months, the market is going to shift. You're not going to see this seller's market because the foreclosures are going to hit the market. We're going to be able to prevent people from being foreclosed by buying their property with one of our Fire Your Landlord clients and save them from foreclosure. You hear that? We're going to save them from foreclosure. So the pre-foreclosure market, MWR, is going to come in when we can ride in on the white horse, and come in, even though we're going to ride in on some black horses. but that's the type of power we're going to have at our fingertips, because now collectively, we're going to have so much money behind us. I'm tied into some of the largest hedge funds around that's going to be giving us 80% of the funding because of what I do, because of the fact that we have our end buyer before we even buy the property. We got our end buyer. So then what happens is you're going to have them because they're seeing a way that they can bring more money into their hedge fund. So we got 100% of our money already spoken for. It's already done. And 100% of the rehab money is already wrapped into the deal. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the MWR members where they can actually get an LLC and partner with us and get that 20%. Now, what was the most shocking part of the entire weekend? And I don't know if Brian went and messed around and talked off the cuff. I don't know what it was, but he said he's going to guarantee every single deal that an investor can't lose their money. Because in real estate, you do got a chance that you can lose your money. But he said that we're going to put it to where you can't lose your money. So now, when you are an investor that you're going to come in and partner with us, and you're going to come in with 20% of the acquisition price, you're going to be getting 20% interest that's guaranteed for 12 months. So that means that if we only use the money for 4 months, we're paying you for 12 months to use that money. That's incredible. Then you're going to get 5% equity of our deal, and you didn't do nothing. You didn't do anything. So now that's going to average out to be close to about 30% on a secured asset because you're getting ownership interest. You're going on the deal, but your credit wasn't even run. I'm the one who's personally guaranteeing every single deal. So if we buy 1,000 properties, I got to personally guarantee every single deal that's there. I'm signing on the dotted line. So that's the confidence level that I have in what it is that we're doing, because I'm putting my credit, and I got an 802 credit score, middle score. I'm putting that all at risk to be able to make sure that we can get this thing in. So the partnership that's there, the leadership that's within MWR Financial is absolutely amazing. And I'm happier than can be to partner with the company that got 17,000 members and one that had 300,000 members. Because you guys, or us now, is in finances. That's what we're focused on. We're not going to be doing makeup here and weight loss there. It's finance. That's what we're focused on. And Andama one time when he's heard the word U.S. housing exchange, he was like, oh, United States. I was like, nah, bro. U.S. stands for us. Remember, for us, by us, it's us housing exchange. It doesn't flow right, though, so then that's why we say U.S.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, Mario. Let's do this, because one of the things that I love that we do, and I want everyone out there to understand, because they're hearing all that, they get excited, but they start trying to think, well, do I have to know this? Do I have to know that? Do I have to know this? The experts, you have a staff. In fact, let's do that now, because I want to incorporate him into one part of this. But let's bring up and why don't you just kind of introduce him real quick, and then I'll ask you the question. But Mr. Todd, yeah.
Bob Lane was a rival teammate, our rival in high school, and then came to be a teammate when we went to Rutgers together and played football. He was a client of mine back in 2012. He's an IT professional. He's real humble, but he did the whole IT for the United Nations. So he does IT all over the world for different companies. One time I was having some computer issues, and he was there fixing my computers, but he was hearing me on the phone, and Todd nosy, so he kept on looking back, wondering what I was talking about and everything. And we were talking about just out of the box solutions on what we needed to do to empower people. And a lot of that started with housing and making sure that we can get people that traditionally would never be able to buy. So since that time, 2012 all the way to now, we talk 3-4 times a day. He's been my right-hand man. He's been loyal to the core. And you'll see, and you've met him on Davo, he's about the most trustworthy person that you possibly can imagine. So I love the guy. So yes, bring him up here. He's actually working a lot with Tom, what you got all that interference on, man?
What do you mean?
Come on, man. But he's actually going to be working along with the app development. He's working a lot with the people. He's up at 3-4 in the morning dealing with India where app developers are in. And then he's also a liaison with the construction. So he has a lot to do. He's not running the construction. He's a liaison.
Sure. So in fact, let's do this. So everybody, because I wanted Todd to be here because we're going to touch on that. And all we're going to do is touch on, because I don't want people to think that they have to know all these things and trying to figure all this stuff out. One of the things that you loved about MWR Financial, Mario, when we spoke, is that you said, wow, here we have run these systems, and we have over 100 clients that have gone through this process. We've been doing this for 11 years, but we never had the boots on the ground to take this to where you ultimately saw it going. And then here at MWR Financial, we knew we wanted people to have a complete makeover, and we realized you couldn't have a complete makeover without real estate. Making wealth real, we knew real estate was one of the biggest keys. And one of the, generally for most people, it's the first rung on the ladder to create wealth. And we, our former U.S. Secretary of HUD said that the average homeowner's net worth is $200,000, where the average renter is only $5,000. So all that being said, let's just do this real quickly. So when you go through the Fire Your Landlord program, they're going to be able to see when they get to when they come through MWR Financial and they know they need to plug in all the services, they're going to see that here's the requirements that are necessary to go through the program. And then they'll see that clearly. And if they have those requirements, then they move forward. If they don't, they come back to MWR Financial, because that means what they didn't do is they didn't follow directions and they skipped something. They skipped one of the services on the save part of our business. So they need to make sure they get that done now. So, and then they'll have a little form they'll fill out, from what I understand. And all it is point and click. All they have to do is put their information in, answer the question, and then now you start taking them through the process. They'll have to upload the credit reports, but it's the same credit reports that they gave to MWR Financial and to our credit restoration system. So they'll just have to upload those same things. Am I right? So it's just as simple as that.
Yes,
Correct?
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's an inverse relationship, you know, because you had to beat it out of me for a long time because we were so used to marketing. But MWR came and he's like, yo, we can do this. We got this. I was like, and then, you know, now we can just focus on treating our clients, you know, to make sure that we can take them to the finish line. So yes, you guys take it. They're in the program, you know, and what we'll do is we'll get almost like a batter's box that will have the first 50 coming, but we want to be able to see how many people have the interest in. So then as we can look, because we're doing this obviously nationwide, we can look at pockets of the country where we're going to be coming soon. So then now what we can do is we can make sure that we're developing that area, meaning that we're going to start research.